In your opinion, like, how do you think what the Chinese people can do to rise up against communist China?
Well, first of all, I would like to comment on what you just said, that people in the Western democracies no longer seem to care about freedom. I think it has to do with the fact that they're just spoiled rotten, and they just think that, democracy's always been there and it will always be around. They simply have forgotten that these were things that had to be wrested from the former elites. And our fathers and forefathers literally spilled blood over this so that their children and children's children would actually enjoy living in a free and democratic society. But like I said, in the Western democracies, people simply have forgotten, and it no longer holds any value to them. So, but you were mentioning, in the 80s in Poland, there was this union, Solidarność. And, they've been fighting for years to overcome communism. Eventually, they were successful. And you also saw the same uprisings in GDR, for instance, and, other Eastern European countries, and they were successful. And especially in the eastern part of Germany, and not a single shot was fired. That's how powerful the people actually are, if they just put their mind to it and if they just recognize the power they hold. So it was possible. What the people in China can do, it's infinitely more difficult, because the Soviet totalitarian regime back then, they did not have the technological means at their disposal that the governments nowadays have with the surveillance. When the uprising started in China just a few months ago, Apple actually, took down that one app where the protesters could communicate. So, even the big businesses, the corporations are in on this. And that should make any alarm bell go off. And, I really don't know. But if the Chinese people, and I support them wholeheartedly, they need to keep up the pressure. But I do recognize and understand it's so much more difficult than it was 30 years ago.